Hello again. It's Amanda. Today, I want to give my opinion on the Dandy's World update. I'll be as honest as possible, mentioning both the things I liked and the things I didn't. I'll criticize some aspects of the update and say what could have been done better. I'm making this video so that more people can share my opinion on this new update. I'll provide arguments and also criticize the complacent Dandy's World players who are trying to ignore the problems. Before I begin, I'll give a warning. This opinion may not please everyone, but I need to open the eyes of the hardcore fans of Dandy's World and the hardcore fans of Quell who defend every step they take, questioning nothing, and viewing everything the team behind Dandy's World does with exaggerated optimism. Starting with the skins, Quell, I know your team probably didn't have much time to make them, but that's not the problem. The problem is the terrible color palette they used. Most of the red tones look more like salsa red than Christmas red. We didn't ask Quell and his team for super detailed skins. We asked for skins that looked good, and this is what they gave us. Putting that aside, the daily rewards are terrible. The reward stays the same every day. It doesn't increase daily. And the worst part is, it's only 50 ornaments. It's practically useless. It's just an excuse to keep us playing every day to get the Babette skin. Seriously, after just 5 floors, you'd already have that many ornaments. And let's not even talk about the character missions, because their skins are just gold. They have a crown on top. And that's it. They don't even look good. I thought they'd at least have a sparkle animation or something. And if Ginger's missions are a little specific, I can't imagine Babette's and Cole's. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Obviously, Ginger and Babette. And look, I want you to think things through carefully. First, let's focus on Ginger. I'll give you my reasons why her ability isn't very useful, and why her new ability doesn't make sense. So pay attention, because Ginger is one of the most reliable and practical characters, or well, she used to be. First, Ginger's ability to truly benefit from a toon requires that the toon not be a main character and be within 1 heart of her target. And that person can't be moving because otherwise, Ginger can't heal them. And we already know that Ginger has the speed stars, so she can't catch up to almost anyone, because obviously Ginger wasn't made for this ability. See what I mean? Even Quell herself knew this was going to be a problem, hence the stay still sticker. But obviously, if it's a distraction, you can't stay still. And besides, your vision range is absurdly short, so it takes a few seconds to heal. And you'll say, yes, but this is for healing in games, without distractions. And I'll answer, well, if someone in a public run is down to 1 heart, it's probably because they're not good at playing. And if they're not good at playing, they're even less likely to stay still. Besides, if they were down to 1 heart, they'll probably do it again. And if you have professional friends, it's even more useless, because your friends are professionals, and you're not going to stay in a heart asleep. But the situation doesn't end there. Second point to emphasize. This ability makes no sense. Sprout, being a main character, can only heal 1 heart with 100 ribbons, while Ginger, being a medium-sized common character, can heal 2 hearts with the same amount. Am I the only one who thinks this is a bad joke? But Ginger has to be very close to the player to heal them. So what? That doesn't negate the fact that she can heal 2 hearts with the same amount of ribbons. It doesn't justify it at all. Even if Ginger had 1,000 requirements to heal 2 hearts, it just seems pointless. Not to mention that Ginger has a speed of 2, and now she'll have to collect ribbons and candies. But since most players are faster than her, they'll grab the ribbons. She'll only be able to get ribbons by extracting them from machines, if they even drop any. And yes, I know, if you're on an organized run there won't be a problem, but you still won't be able to do much with the machines, And because of your high stealth, you'll have to wait until everyone is in the elevator so that Twisted can see you and you can run away as fast as possible because, to speed. Ginger just wasn't made for this. And the worst part is, the people trying to claim their skill improved, people trying to hide the truth. I honestly think it's just the excitement of the moment. And because some people are huge fans of Quell, or there are simply players who aren't interested in Ginger and say whatever comes to mind. And let me tell you something. I know Dandy's World isn't a united community at all, but there are people who need Ginger for their runs. As a player who loves record runs or organized runs, I can tell you that what people who do these kinds of runs loved about Ginger was that she was practical, safe, and instantaneous. Plus, she extracted health much faster than Cosmo. Ginger's stats show that she was designed for her old ability, and even if they changed her stats, she wouldn't be as useful as before. No organized run is going to wait until they have 1 heart to be healed. And what's worse? Ginger has to be right on top of the distractor to heal them. The old Ginger was good for both public and organized runs. She healed from a great distance, so she didn't even have to move and waste all her stamina running after the person she wanted to heal. I know that giving Ginger a new ability is very interesting, but the truth is, the original ability was better. It made more sense, too. Ginger Twisted can see you from quite a distance, and having only 1 eye means she can focus more easily on her. Continuing with Babette, her passive ability is quite good. A pretty nice improvement, but her active ability remains the same. Personally, I think it would have been better if they had created a completely new ability for her. But instead they literally just gave us a bar that tells you when she's about to leave her box. And that's it. Instead of doing something different or giving her a really good buff, like, for example, keeping your damaged immunity for 3 seconds when you leave the box. So if a Twisted is standing still just as you're about to leave, you'd have time to escape without taking damage. And well, the moment has arrived. Let's talk about ice floors. Now people are saying that Dandy's World players cry when something new comes out, and if it doesn't, we complain too. But that's not the problem. The problem lies in the Brunch Crunch team doing things right. And now they'll come and tell me. But the floor effect isn't difficult when you know how to handle it well. And yes, that's true. I've already learned a lot about ice floors. Like you only run when you want to turn, for example. But then Pebble, V, and Babette appear in Blackout and they don't say a word. Listen, even though it's true that ice floors become manageable when you get the hang of them, that doesn't change the fact that sometimes it's impossible to get hurt on these floors. Otherwise, it's because there are very narrow places with machines where you have to turn through tight spaces to escape. And if a fast Twisted sees you, and this Twisted is very close to you, it will take away a heart or kill you if you only have 1 life, which is unfair. I've seen people who have broken world records, who have reached the 400th floor, die on these floors, even though they knew how to handle them. That's why I think the Christmas event is horribly executed, with mediocre skins, Ginger's ability ruined, daily gifts that are downright garbage, and a horribly executed floor event. If I had to give Ginger a new ability, I'd say it would be interesting if, with lower meds and bans, Ginger could give other players extra lives, like a life boost. This would only be possible if the character you want to use Ginger's ability on has full hearts. For example, Louis Distractor wouldn't be able to receive this bonus from Ginger. The meds would cover 2 hearts, and the bans 1 heart, covering a maximum of 2 hearts, whether from a main character or a regular toon. This would be very useful, protecting the others, although it would have a somewhat long cooldown. As for the ice floors, it would simply make it a bit more manageable, and Connie and Flutter wouldn't be affected by ice, the same as with Icor's escape effects. Making a trinket for this wouldn't sound so far-fetched if Quell had added 4 new characters for Christmas. Well, that's all. I hope I've changed your mind or reinforced your opinion. I love you all. Remember that the future of Dandy's world is in our hands, and we must choose wisely. There are players who truly care about this. That's all.